one single ringtone that uplifts the spirits. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any video, and also share with your friends and loved ones. All right, so let's get down to business. Today I'll be talking about finance and a little about budgeting, basically finance and then budgeting, and what has helped me over the years to grow. And in order not to go out of line, I have a list here with my notebook, so I don't miss out any important points. So I will just be looking into my notes and also sharing with you as well. So for a very long time, as far as I can remember, I've always been a child that loved to save. Yes, growing up, I always had this saving habit. I grew up with that habit, and it has helped me well into my adult life. Now, each time my parents gave me money, I would sometimes not spend the money. I would save it, keep it, in my bag when I get home, and just forget about the money. So every day I would save small amounts of money, 20 naira here, 10 naira there, 5 naira there, yeah, 50 naira, from primary school. This habit continued with me down to today. So I just love saving money. Like, I couldn't not do without money. So each time I saved, I was happy that I had some money. So towards Christmas, I would get something for myself as a reward for saving. Now, that also helped me very well in my secondary school. So there was a period when my parents didn't have enough money at that time, and I had to use the money I had saved up to transport myself to school. And my dad was marveled at how much I saved. Now, I became independent, I became responsible at that young age. I should be around 10, 11, 12. I can't remember which age specifically, but between 10 to 12, that was when I used that money. And my parents were so proud of me, super proud of me, super happy for me that I could do such a thing, as little as something as small as transporting myself to school at that critical moment. So I didn't know that I was taking responsibility for myself. I was being a responsible person, and I was just doing it for the fun of it, just saving little monies here and there, just because I love to have money and count money and see the naira notes. So I didn't have any thoughts that it was going to help me someday, So when I got into the university, I continued with my saving habits, but it declined because daddy and mommy were sending me money. Then from my third year to my fourth year, it was really tough, and that's because the Nigerian economy kept, a lot of things kept increasing, food prices, transportation. If you bought something of 200 naira today, when next you go to the market, it might triple to maybe 400 naira or 600 naira. That was how the economy kept climbing and climbing. And I was just an undergraduate, right? But even as an undergraduate, I kept doing things to add, to supplement what my parents were giving to me. and I didn't just rely on that alone. So I kept doing little gigs, my writing gigs anyway, and also volunteering as well. So that helped me. So when I came out of school, I got a job in 2020. I was actually applying for applying to organizations for little grants, grants here, conferences there, and all of those, just to be better. I'm a big fan of self-development. I'm a big fan of improvement. Anything that will improve me, that will improve my lifestyle, that will improve my skill, that will improve my career, that will add knowledge to any aspect of my life, I go for it. So in 2020, I got a job. But shortly before I got a job, which is a story I'm going to share in another video. Now, before I got a job, I applied reluctantly to a business conference. A friend of mine who also was, helpful in sending links for me to apply for, all of these forums and seminars and conferences. He would just send them to me, and I kept applying. So one of the applications went through, and I was selected in 2020 because I applied in 2019 December. By January 2020, they sent me a congratulatory mail, and I did not believe it. That was more like my first win, and it was an all-female conference, business conference in Lagos, and it's called Sheshawa. Yeah, Sheshawa is happened to be my first business conference I attended, and seeing that the location was far from where I resided, which is here in Port Harcourt, I had to plan, and I had to plan properly. So I had to look at my savings to see how much I had saved and see how it was going to help me for my trip. The trip was for a week, and that week I had to sort out accommodation, I had to sort out transport, I had to sort out feeding. Now, luckily for me, I had friends in Lagos, even though I also have families in Lagos, but I decided to go stay with my friends because their places, a bit closer, not like closer like that, but it was, the distance was not far compared to if I stayed with any of my relatives. So I called them just to, to know how far with them, check up on them. And this is why relationships is very, very important. Building relationships, solid relationship, mind you, is very important because you do not know where or when it's going to be of help to you. So I called them and I told them about it, and they were happy. They said, I can come stay with them, stay with them in Lagos. So I sorted out my accommodation. So what was left was feeding and, of course, transportation. So I looked at my savings and I found out that I had a little over 40,000 at that time. That was in 2019 when I checked, a little over 40,000, and it was more than enough to take me to Lagos, bring me back, and also sort feeding. So I didn't tell my parents I was traveling all the way to Lagos. So I came up with the excuse of school to travel to Lagos. It was a high-end risk I took. But come on, this was something I never knew would be life-changing. What if I meet people that would be of immense help to me? What if I go there to learn something that would change my life forever? So I prepared, withdrew the money, and then transported myself to Lagos on the 20th. So my trip to Lagos was beautiful. It was indeed great, and that began another journey for me of recording my expenses. So this was how I began recording my day-to-day expenses, how much I spent on transport, how much I spent on food, how much it cost to, buy stuff in Lagos. I kept track, and also to know the slight or huge differences in prices. Okay, so this was how I was able to keep track of my daily expenses. So this I did was just to help me. At first, what I did was to find out, the transport, how much it cost each day to, transport myself to venue. Has eventually become a habit. It turned to a habit, something that I now do now. I mean, from 2020 now to 2023, it's 3 years of daily expense tracking, I tell you. So every day for 1 week, I went there and I met amazing women. I also pitched for the first time, did some business pitching, even though I didn't make it to the semi-finals. But going up on that stage, to talk was my first step to conquering fear. I was all agitated. I stuttered a lot. I was smiling. I was nervous. But I did it nonetheless. And I made friends who are still friends till today. I met amazing women. I met amazing ladies. Now, same January, I met my boss in the bus. My boss in the bus. Yes. So I met my boss in the bus and we got talking, and I remembered that he made a post. At the time, I followed him judiciously on Facebook, and I just introduced myself and told him what I could do, and he was like, okay, that I should come for a conference he was invited to speak at the next day. And I just told myself, okay, this is an opportunity, right? I grabbed on it. I went for the event the next day, and that was how I got my first job in 2020. Yes! That was how I got my first job in 2020. So that is another video I'm gonna tell you. From 2020 down to 2021, I worked for a year before I went for the compulsory National Youth Service Corps, which every graduate in my country here in Nigeria is mandated to go for. I served from 2021 to 2022 last year, and I got my second job. So all through 2020, right, I kept track of my expenses, and I got to know about the 70-20-10 formula. 70% for living expenses, 20% for short-term investment, 10% for long-term investment. And this is how I have been able to keep track or keep hold of my finances, the 70-20-10 formula. And I learned about this formula from a book called The Smart Money Woman by Aresa Ugo in 2020 as well. I mean, 2020 was it was a remarkable year for me. Trust me, it was a remarkable year indeed. There are a lot of things I learned in 2020, which I'm going to be sharing with you in subsequent videos. So, Aresa Ugo's The Smart Money Woman taught me the 70-20-10 formula, which is what I have been using. Although there have been slight changes for me due to the consistent hike in the economy. Sometimes I will do 80-20, sometimes 90-10, sometimes 100. 100 for living expenses, and trust me, it has not been easy. Saving and and putting away funds, emergency funds, putting something for investment has not been easy. It has not been easy, but we keep striving on. Like I said, there's room for improvement. There's room for growth. Okay, so the 70-20-10 formula, I came to know about it in 2020. And also, I got to know about another secret, which is the saving app I currently use till date, PiggyVest. Yeah, PiggyVest is my baby, like my paddy for life, my paddy. Immediately I'm paid my salary. After I have budgeted, what is left, I just send it to PiggyVest for future savings. PiggyVest has been a wonderful saving app, even though you can also invest on the app, but I prefer it for saving. Put away funds to lock funds for emergency, to save my rent, to save for utility bills, to save for any emergency that I might need. PiggyVest has been a lifesaver for me. So PiggyVest is my go-to. So there are other financial saving apps you can find, like Cowrywise if you're in Nigeria. Yes, PiggyVest, Cowrywise. These are the two I know of and I have used and confirmed. Yes, PiggyVest is flexible in the sense that you can always withdraw your money, but Cowrywise, you don't go there. Do not go there. If you know you are not ready to cry, don't try Cowrywise, because the policy is really, really strict. They have a really strict policy for Cowrywise, trust me. And also they have tons of investment opportunities on Cowrywise, treasury bills, bonds, small shares that you can buy, to help yourself. So Cowrywise is also a good app, but for me it's PiggyVest because I like to withdraw my money before I put away any money in my PiggyVest app or any of these saving app. I first of all budget. See, I budget a lot. Like, I love to budget. As I am getting that green, that's one single ringtone that uplifts the spirits. I am taking my paper and pen and deducting. Oh, I need to pay utility bills here, it goes there. If I need to go for eye check, it's also there. If I need to buy grocery, there. My toiletries, it's also there. I budget to the last T. That's how prudent I am, or frugal I am with my money. I mean, this is something I toiled for a month, and now that it's here, it's hard to part ways with my money. It's so hard. But what can one do? I mean, you need money to survive, right? Definitely. So I budget, I budget the money in fractions, send them on errands to places, and they do their work. They do the Lord's work. In this case, they do glorious work. They do glorious work. So after I'm done budgeting, I then send what's left of the money into my PiggyVest app. So very recently, I found another app called Bamboo. Now, Bamboo is a financial platform that helps you buy shares and stocks. Yes, you can have shares in these big companies like Netflix, like Disney, like Tesla, Apple. You just buy little shares, as little as $1. you can own a share in any of these companies, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So going forward, I will just be allocating a fraction of my salary into buying shares every month. No matter how small, even if it is $1 I buy from Netflix, I know that I have a $1 share with Netflix. I can also get a $1 share in Apple or Tesla, and that's how your money grows. That's how your money multiplies. See, any financial platform that promises you 40% interest, run. Because you will cry tears. See that 40%? It's gonna be a Ponzi scheme, man. Ponzi. It's Ponzi. Run. So you can try Bamboo and start growing your money now. So that's about it. That's how I help myself with my finances. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. Like I told you, I do not know it all, so I will continue. So if I know any important or other financial platforms, I'll share them with you, and also we can all grow together. I mean, this money will matter. We must know how to manage it. Not just manage money, create, amass wealth, and also diversify our means of making income. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. I love you.